My resistors have eyes and they're staring back at me. Alright, so let's take a look. Here we have an A1398. It says not turning on. Hello, happy holidays. I'm part of the IT department in a small company in the Chicagoland area. The user reported that the machine stops working after the mistake of using a knockoff charger. I'm not sure if that's the case. So let's see if that is the problem. Let's open this thing up and see if we can get it working again. Okay, back to this. So this person said that they may have used the knockoff charger and now the machine is dead. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the battery. This is one of those batteries that really doesn't want to come out, so we're going to use a special pry tool. Bam. Battery removed. Now we're going to get the good old-fashioned Paul Daniels software on the screen, as well as the power supply software so that I could see how many amps this MacBook is taking. Make it work again. Look at that lag between the power supply software that instantly turns on and the Paul Daniels software that boots up like a Hitachi 4200 RPM drive from 2004. Alright, we're going to turn on the power supply. What does this take? 22 milliamps, 23 milliamps, 24 milliamps. This doesn't appear to be knockoff charger damage to me. Is PP bus present? PP bus G3 hot is 4.06 volts. That's the main rail that is created by the charger to charge the battery. So perhaps this is a knockoff charger. So we're going to take a look at the charging circuit on this. We're getting 4 volts on PP bus, which may mean that this actually is just issue from a knockoff charger. The little piece of... Whoa, I've never seen this before. You know the little piece of foam that covers the screw right next to the LCD connector on the A1398? The foam is ripped and cut into 2 pieces. That's... how the hell does that happen? That's absolute savagery. Someone predicted that this board will have a dead GPU. You are an asshole. A pox on you and your family. I can see what's wrong with this board already. Can you? These little bags are so aggravating. We got bags for all the screws from the machines, but we made sure to buy the tiniest little bags there are. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. I like bigger bag. How does the... Where do I put the...
In the bigger bag. In the bag with the Ziploc.
That's not what's in the box.
Why do you have these small baggies here?
This is pure trollery.
Steal from Paul.
Hey.
That's what I usually do, is steal from Paul.
Human being. Grab one from Paul. Here.
I can't do that. We don't do that anymore.
We don't? No, but bags are coming good. No, that's gonna fall out. Come on.
Why does Paul get nice bags and I get crappy ones?
Paul fights for his stuff. Yeah. What's up?
Figure out why this doesn't turn on.
It's an iPad. I'm trying.
It tells me you're using battery indication. You just never can be.
No Wi-Fi? I mean, wait for what's his face to take it off.
I don't know which one's the power button. This
This is going to be the power button here. This is going to be some utility Bixby button. And this is
All right.
going to be volume.
Let's take a look at the schematic in the board view for this board. This is an 820-00138, which we don't have a schematic for, so I'll look at a schematic for a similar board.
Check this online, which one's the power button, right? It's also not charging the battery either.
It would also tell you what fucking model it is.
You left out a screw there. If I left out a screw, then how is it the board is out of the casing? Explain that, smartass. How is this board out of the casing if I left a screw in there? Exactly. Exactly. YouTube people.
A 0.36. That's not a
Oh, you're talking about this screw. Meh.
7 watts.
This screw.
Did you
This.
just go like 20 volts?
How do I put 20?
That was probably a screw to another machine. All right, let's open up a schematic for this. What would be close? 820000163.
Okay, so now it's charging. So you must have turned it on. Okay. You probably just no image. Is this data recovery or?
No.
It's yours?
This has image. Because it gives me the battery icon.
Oh. Maybe that battery.
All right. So now we're going to take a look at the charging circuitry,
Yours.
which is U7100. So this circuit is going to be what is going to create 12 volts for the main power rail on the machine. So this is going to take 18 volts from up here, and it's going to send it here and make 12. Now, how does it do that? Well, this is a switching power supply. This switching power supply is going to allow the 18 volts through only sometimes. So how do we get from 18 volts to 12? Many people know what a switching power supply is, but they don't know exactly how it works. So what this is going to do is it's going to open up, and it's going to allow that 18 volts from the charger up here through, and it's going to allow 18 through, then 0. 18, 18, 0, 18, 18, 0, 18, 18, 0, 18, 18, 0, really, really fast. So it's going to, and in those little time increments, and that's going to average out to something around 12. Well, obviously being a little crude in my description here, but that's the way it works. So this chip is going to say, transistors, open, 18. Open again, 18. Close, nothing. And it's going to continue in that pattern to give you 12. This thing here is going to open to allow charger power to the machine, and this also keeps battery from going back up here. And you don't want to allow the battery to charge the charger. You don't want to have some sort of. You ever buy one of those pieces of shit from China where you know when you keep, if you have the battery on the charger, it charges, but if you unplug the charger from the wall, you can still see that the battery is trying to charge the charger. That's because they don't have something like this here. That's what this does. What this transistor up here is going to do is it's going to keep the battery from trying to charge the charger. So if you have the charger plugged into the machine but it's not plugged into the wall, you don't want the battery to try to charge your charger. So that's what this thing does over here. Now, this is called a current sensing circuit over here. So let's try to zoom in. Let's see how much Paul Daniels' software would allow me to zoom. That's about it. Thank you, Paul Daniels. Now, what this does over here, this is called the current sensing circuit. So imagine that I'm looking at water flow through a stream. I want to know how fast is the water flowing through the stream. I can guess based on what I hear, how much noise is it making, or what I see in the water. But for the most part, I can't really tell if there's nothing in the water and it's not making any noise, how fast or how powerful is the water flowing through the stream. I would have to put my hand in the stream in order to tell. Now, the ISL6259 chip over here that's controlling this buck converter, it is not in the stream. It is just controlling a transistor that is in the stream. It's controlling a transistor in the stream. It's connected to a resistor in the stream. This would be like having your hands in the stream. Now, this resistor is going to have a voltage drop from here to here. It's going to be a really, really small voltage drop, but it's a voltage drop nonetheless. And that voltage drop is going to be proportional to how much current the system is using. So if the system is using 40 milliamps, there's going to be virtually no voltage drop across the resistor. If the system is using 5 amps or 8 amps or 12 amps or 16 amps, then there's going to be a huge voltage drop across the resistor. Now, the way that this chip, U7100, is going to tell how much current the system is using, it's going to measure the current. It's going to measure the voltage at the top of the resistor, measure it at the bottom of the resistor, and then figure out what the difference is. And if the difference is larger, it's going to know the system's using more current. If the difference is smaller, it thinks it's using less current. So R7121 goes from the top of the resistor to the chip, charger CSIP, and R7122 sits between the bottom of the resistor and charger CSI N. And it's going to be able to see what's going on here. Now, what I want to do, a quick way to measure a current sensing circuit here, is what many people will do is they'll measure this resistor and this resistor and this resistor and this trace and that trace and that trace and that trace, and that's a lot of measurements to figure it out. What I like to do is I like to simply add up the resistances of everything in the circuit. You have 10 ohms, 0.02 ohms, 10 ohms. So that's 10 0.02 ohms. I would zoom in a little more so that you could see it, but Paul Daniels' software does not allow you to zoom past a certain point. I guess you have to pay for the premium version for that shit. This is only the $79 version of the Paul Daniels software. Recently, he released a $149 version of it. You probably got to pay for like the $300 premium package, limited edition or some shit to be able to zoom more. But, you know, pldaniels.com. So let's see what we get on R71 on between pins 27 and 28 of the ISL 6259. So that's going to be over here. Okay, let me see. I missed a bunch of chat here, so let me read some of it. Transistors closed to pass current. Fuck that. Open like a door. You close the contacts in a relay to pass current. God damn it, I say it aluminum instead of aluminium. I spell color without a U, and you open the transistor to pass current, not close it. Pull your hair out, motherfucker. America. Can you do a YouTube video about your bike? No. If I do a YouTube video on my bike, everybody will go, why did you do it that way? Oh my God, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. How dare you make something not perfect? Why did you make something not perfect? Oh my God, this guy is such a moron. My bike is my hobby. My bike is not my profession. So I put it together the way a hobbyist would at 1 or 2 in the morning when he has no time. So if I put that on YouTube with an actual viewership, they are going to like nitpick at every little thing. And this is the thing that people do on YouTube is they look at what you do under a fine-tooth comb. And if anything could have been done even a tiny bit better, I can't believe you're so stupid. Look at that. And it makes them feel better about the fact that they live in their parents' basement at the age of 40. And I'm not giving people that satisfaction. All right, so back to this. Okay. Now, what's something that you notice up here? There should be something clearly noticeable up here. How is the new place coming along? We'll see. Steve and Paul are headed over now. Bad solder joint on left cap. Nope. All right, I'll zoom in. Something that you're unable to do on Paul Daniels' software. This is something that you may have to pay a premium for to do in the Paul Daniels software, but I'm going to offer you that on my stream at no additional charge. Zoom. Look at that. What do we see here? Besides the fact that my microscope light is being silly. There we go. Yeah, come on, give me the rest. There we go. All right, properly lit. What do you see? My resistors have eyes and they're staring back at me. All right, so let's... Now, if we were to measure the resistance of these between these 2 points, how did Kevin's STD test turn out? I don't think he ever got one. The test. Yeah, we got 7.31 kilo ohms. So if we check this resistor over here, open line. This resistor over here, open line. So that means that those resistors are totally destroyed, and any measurement I'm getting here is actually going to be what you see for between this cap. So what I'm really measuring is that capacitor that is between the 2 resistors. C7120 is between the 2 resistors, and that's what we're actually measuring here. Now let's get those resistors bulldozed off the board and replace them with some nice new fancy resistors. My flux is gone. What the? How the? Where the?
Did you run out?
What the? Where's my flux? I hope Steve drives that contractor insane.
What happened?
Yeah.
He's gonna bargain.
The contractor?
Yeah.
Why?
What?
Why?
Why what?
Why is he gonna bargain?
No, Steve's gonna bargain.
About what?
Painting, insulation and office floor, other stuff.
Hello. How can I help?
I have a MacBook.
Okay.
I can take it.
Okay.
I took this from you. I'm sorry.
Is that my tweezers?
That's your
My good tweezers.
used to be good tweezers.
What?
I'm in trouble. Okay. Also, one thing I like to do here is anytime the current sense resistors have been destroyed, typically the ISL 6259 will also be destroyed. So I'm just going to replace it all. Is there likely a reason those resistors blew? Yes, in the beginning of the stream. In the beginning of the stream. There was, what was I saying? Oh, in the beginning of the stream, they used the knockoff charger. Someone said Hannah should have gone. Good idea. I will arrange that once this ISL 6259 is lifted off the board. Once she's out of the restroom, we'll go over that. All right, that's settled. And back to this. Don't cheap out on chargers, someone says. Yeah, I don't sell knockoff chargers, and I usually just tell people to go to Best Buy and buy the Apple charger there.
Why don't we stock Apple chargers?
Hmm?
Why don't we stock Apple chargers?
I can't buy Apple chargers for a wholesale price. So I would have to buy it from Best Buy to sell it here. And then people already lose their mind when they go, I can't believe you're selling it. We were able to get the original ones for a while for $45, and we were selling it for like $60. People go, I can't believe it's $60 for a charger on Amazon at 17. So at some point, I just gave up and said, fuck that, I'm not selling these anymore. So now, rather than sell chargers, I'll tell people, I suggest the OEM one. Here's where you can buy the OEM one. And then when they don't buy the OEM one because they don't believe me, they can come here and pay $325 for me to replace these two resistors. But I used to sell that, and I used to also sell these StarTech lightning cables. They were really good. I was selling the cable for, I think, 10 or 11 bucks and the little charging brick for $3 or $4. This was an amazing, amazing quality charging cable. I believe that they would actually accept returns if you destroyed the cable, which is almost impossible to do. You know, if I ever get caught for buying ISL 9240s, Tim Cook would be able to hang me in front of his headquarters from a StarTech charging cable, and it would still work. Those things are just made to last. And people never bought them. They would buy the ones that wind up destroying TriStar, the shitty brick and the shitty cable, at the store one block down because it was $5 cheaper. And then they show up here for data recovery. And it's just like, this is something that I learned when I started to get older, which is I'm not going to argue with the way the world is. I'm just going to figure out a way to position myself to benefit from it. You know, why am I going? I remember having, in 2012, I used to have this little thing in the front of the store. It was a demonstration. This is what the TriStar circuit looked like on the new iPhone 5, because the iPhone 5 was the first one to have a charging circuit at the end of 2012. This is what the TriStar circuit looks like. This is what is going to get destroyed if you use the shitty charger. Here's a bunch of pictures of shitty charge cords for the iPhone 4. That piece of shit from Apple always broke. Here's what the good, nice StarTech one looks like. That never breaks. It's just a few dollars more. Feel the material. Nobody bought it. Oh, you're a ripoff. You're a ripoff. You're a ripoff. Okay, cool. You know what? I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to smile and say, oh, yeah, you can buy I suggest the OEM one at Best Buy. This other one may kill your phone. It's right down the block. It's just $5. But go for it. You know, give it a try. I'll be here. Data recovery on iPhones ranges from $300 to $650. Motherboard repair is $200 to $425. We are open and happy to take your business. We are open and happy to take your business. I agree with you that $15 or $79 for the charger, or no, it was $60 I was selling the MacBook chargers for. That $60 is a fucking ripoff. I agree with you. We're a damn good deal on board repair. So, this. Like, I use knockoff chargers as well for things. I just wouldn't use a knockoff charger on an Apple product. Because these things are so finicky. I use a knockoff camera charger on my Sony camera. I have a Sony A5100 at home. And the DC adapter, the DC battery adapter for that thing costs $87 to $90 plus shipping from Sony. That's just disgusting. Because I paid $250 for the camera used. I think it was $220 or $250, probably $220. Yeah, because I bought it with a broken flash used. It doesn't hold my data, and it's a low-end device. So if I kill it, who cares? But when it comes to something that holds my data, I'm not cheaping out on the power supply. Or if it's a computer that costs $3,000, no. I'll cheap out on my cheap-ass camera. I'm not going to... that I use, you know, for off-the-cuff home videos. Also, it's kind of insulting for Sony because that thing uses... I mean, that thing uses 200 milliamps or something. Like, really? $87? You couldn't get a switching power supply that doesn't ripple for less than $87? That's Sony trying to put the tip in. That's what that is. What is the heat preference on your Quick? It entirely depends on the board. How much distance to the new shop? I gotta look. It's 15 blocks up, 7 blocks west. So 15 north, 7 west. What's that?
Ordered here.
Oh, that's for you.
You know.
Kevin, thank you for your hard work.
That's all you.
That's you and
That's all you.
That's all you,
I
man.
got that chicken palm in me.
I got that chicken palm in me too, man.
Kevin, enjoy.
For the store?
That's for all of you. Enjoy.
Thank you.
And to say thank you to JP.
Thank you, JP.
Is this getting hot? Are you even plugged in? You're not, are you? Wait, you are plugged in. Source. My station's acting all messed up. I gotta... not auto-sleeping and turning stuff on anymore. And my tip is bent. Strange. Alright, let's just move that into place. I don't know how clear it comes out on the camera, but it's minorly crooked. Just enough to bother me. Everybody say thank you to JP for providing the store with sugar. But yeah, when it comes to selling chargers, I just gave up. Maybe it would be different now because, you know, we're a worldwide name, more people trust us than I got so tired. Like, how much is this charger? $60. $60, man. Oh. At some point you just get tired of hearing the whining. I did not ask you to purchase a $3,000 computer. You made the decision to purchase an expensive $3,000 computer. Now live with it. Yeah. You cannot buy a charger from 186 First Avenue. You know what you can buy? Current Sense board repair services. All right, so I'm going to wait for this to cool off just a little bit. Get my donor board, put it on the side. Use my rapid cool right here. Rapid cool that board up. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's get the meter in a voltage mode so we can measure voltage. And we're going to have the power supply on the screen so we can see how many amps this thing is taking. It was taking 23 to 25 milliamps before. Now when we plug it in, it takes 830. PP bus G3 hot is 12.59 volts, and we get a fan spin. So that's it for today. Our issue is with the current sensing circuit because of a knockoff charger, and when using it with a proper charger, it will work again only after you fix the current sensing circuit that the knockoff charger destroyed. I get it. I understand your aggravation at the fact that the charger is expensive. And I'm not saying that I don't use knockoff chargers in my own products. I will pay $20 to $30 for a DC battery adapter for my Sony a5100 camera. I will not pay $90 for that because I bought that camera on eBay for $220 used with a broken flash, and I only use it for home recordings or as an overhead desk camera. But this is a device that costs $3,000 when you buy it. Since it costs $3,000, that difference between buying a $20 charger and an $80 charger, in my opinion, is negligible. If you're going to spend the money to get this expensive thing, especially something as temperamental as a Mac. Again, remember, we're talking about a computer here that you literally, in 2019, cannot open and close without it dying, that you cannot type on without the keyboard dying. Please, please, get it the charger that's made to work with it. You don't want to send any little ripple voltage to this that it's not expecting, because if you do, it will die, and you will end up here with a $200 to $400 bill for something that you could have avoided if you just spent the money up front. Save the cheap chargers for cheap shit. When it comes to your expensive stuff, spend a little bit extra on a good charger so that this doesn't happen to your MacBook. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, anything on current sensing circuits and ISL 625.9 problems, when you have 4 volts on PP bus G3 hot, leave them in the comments down below. See you in the next video.